What's going on, everybody? Giant Opinion Sports. Please leave a like to help me grow my channel. If you're new, subscribe. I got a ton of these draft profiles coming out all the way up to the draft, so we got almost 3 months still to go. But today we're going to talk about a monster player, a heat-seeking missile, a dude that just don't give a shit, will tear your head off, and that is Kayvon Thibodeaux. I absolutely fell in love with Kayvon's tape. He is an elite athlete. I've seen people criticizing him for lying too much on his athleticism. I don't. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's what old Grandpappy always said. I've seen him use an arsenal of pass rushing moves. Now, he needed to use them more often, but they did show up on tape. Now, I would understand about the pass rushing moves criticism if you didn't see any of them at all. I mean, if you're just seeing athleticism, then yeah, I'd be right with them people. But does he have room to improve? Sure, but who don't? Another criticism I've heard is that he's only a finesse guy, and I'm not buying that for a second. I mean, there was plenty of plays on tape where he showcased the speed, the power on his pass reps. He's plenty of power. I argue for his size, he's got superb strength. And when you start looking at all the top edge rushers throughout the NFL, you quickly notice they are all speed and power guys, at least the top 10 in the NFL. Listen, if I'm a tackle and I know you can't beat me around the edge, especially if you're an elite tackle, that's a huge advantage for me. I'm not going to take any chance on the inside stuff. I just don't think Kayvon Thibodeaux will ever have power issues on the next level. And of course, you're going to build your strength at the NFL level. I mean, when you get there, the regiments are no joke. Now, improving your speed, that's a whole different story. Not saying it can't be done, but it's much easier to get stronger in the NFL than faster. He's a blazer. I mean, his speed will help on the run game as well. Us Giants fans, we remember what Bud Dupree did to us, week 1 last season in Pittsburgh? Bud shut down Saquon with his speed on the backside. It was impressive. And listen, that has value. And Kayvon was excellent in the run game. He did pretty good. He deserves more credit for that part of his game. But the thing I love the most is just he has an elite first step. He's also great with his hands. He's underrated. People don't talk about it. He gets a little tricky. He'll give little shoulder dips and fake jabs, and he's crafty. But I bring up the hands for a key reason. When guards and tackles can get inside of him, that's where he's had a hard time getting off his blocks. And I think that's the first thing coaching is going to need to work on with him. He's going to have to learn to use his arms to get better leverage in situations. Getting lower can be another solution to that. I have hope, though, because in some of those situations, he did use good leverage, and he did have hand placement. So it's not like, he can't do it. So overall, it's just not a red flag or something he can't overcome. I think with proper technique and repetition, he'll be okay. It should become second nature at some point in his career. And really, this kind of goes for all players. No rookie is coming in the league as Von Miller. Some people might want to tell you Aiden Hutchinson will. I don't buy it, and you probably shouldn't either. Just watch the tape. One of the concerns with Kayvon is missed tackles and sacks. Just like the leverage deal, I'm not overly concerned, but I can't ignore the missed opportunities that I did see on tape. Again, though, he needs more repetition. You naturally build more of a feeling for these things, and I think he's a bit raw as a prospect. I will say for where he is, though, he is a very good instinctual player. He just needs to build more of a feeling for the game overall, and the game will slow down for him eventually, and his concern should work itself out. Also, at some time, everyone is going to miss sacks once in a while. These quarterbacks nowadays, some of them are straight up the fastest players in the field. They can all move. They're all mobile nowadays. It's part of the game to miss sacks. Michael Strahan had, I think, 140 sacks. I watched every snap of his career, and I watched him miss probably 50, 60 sacks. So it's part of the game. So to summarize, Kayvon Thibodeaux is an elite edge rusher. He's got a good bull rush. I was impressed with that. I like his pass rushing moves. I like where he's at. He's going to have to start showing them moves more often at the next level. And if he can refine those moves, he can get to a ridiculous high level. So who knows what his ceiling could be. You have athleticism like him, and if you could go to the right scheme, geez, I don't want to say someone like Myles Garrett, but you never know. I mean, who thought Micah Parsons would be a double-digit sack guy? Now, Micah is a much better prospect than Kayvon. I think my point is you just never know, honestly. And I think he's going to have a Chase Young-esque rookie season. That's just my feeling about it. But I think what he's been criticized, to summarize on it, he's a good run defender. Obviously, he has trouble when the play is run at him. He gets caught flat-footed at times. His backside run defense, he's an animal. It makes up for everything. He's chasing everything down. It can be the difference in a game. Also, listen, he's undersized, but I've started digging around, looking him up. Supposedly, he's already bulked up a lot. I don't think he'll have a problem really carrying a whole lot of extra weight if he does put it on. But he is a modern day edge rusher. I mean, awesome burst, speed, power. Uses his arms well. Good hand placement. He even gets, like I said earlier, even gets a little tricky, but his hand placement most of the time is good. And he does show bend and balance too. Crazy balance. So it just feels like he's the total package. I'm not saying he's the best prospect ever to come out of college, but he's impressive. And as a Giants fan, I have a sneaking suspicion that Ekwonu and Neal are going to be off the board by the time the Giants pick come around at 5. In that situation, I'm praying that Kayvon Thibodeaux drops to 5. We haven't had a kid with traits like him here in the Meadowlands in a long time. If everything clicks for him, again, you just never know. I've seen people say he's boom or bust prospect. I don't see it that way. I think at worst, all right, absolute floor, you're going to get Jadeveon Clowney. And I don't think you can really even say Jadeveon Clowney is a bust. He never developed into a superstar like everybody thought he was gonna. But if Clowney went to the Giants today, I'm excited. He's a solid player. And he also is capable of high-end plays and moments. So that's the floor to me. Jadeveon Clowney, if there's injuries that pop up with him, I think he's a can't-miss prospect, just in my personal opinion. So I don't think he's boom or bust. I think you could maybe say boom or just really good player chance. I can see that. But listen, if you have time to go watch the Oregon USC highlights from last season, you will see why I don't think he'll bust. He took it to Barrett Tucker. Now, Barrett Tucker is a guard with the Jets now, and he was playing tackle in that game. But still, he is a high-end level offensive lineman. And Kayvon Thibodeaux bent him over and spanked him. I mean, there's just no polite way of saying it. If the Giants are there at 5 and all the offensive linemen are gone, 2 top offensive linemen, I'm in on this kid, man. Bring him in. He is special. And you have that question of how high can he go? Can he be a Myles Garrett? Could he be a J.J. Watt? You never know. It's possible. Again, the point back at Micah Parsons. Who the hell thought he was going to look like he did? But when you factor in that high-end athleticism, you just never know. Anyway, stick around. I'm going to get to Aiden Hutchinson. I probably should have started with him because I've just watched a whole bunch of Michigan games throughout the season because I live in Pennsylvania. But going to get to him, get to Ajabo and some of the other elite pass rushers. But that's it. Like, subscribe, and peace.